I would like to welcome everybody back here. We will now have the opportunity of an hour of discussion, debate, asking questions, learning more. And I think what we really should make use of is this very interdisciplinary panel we are having here between architects, designers, people who actually travel to outer space, art historians, cultural critics, policy shapers, and a lot of them teaching also. Questions. I would like to bridge between what has been talked about and the space where we are here, the Architekturzentrum, and even though we have been miles and miles away in outer space and learned, especially in the last lecture, what it really means, where to go, how to sleep, how to be confronted with storage issues, how to bring things, how to dismantle, how to spend a lot of time with repair work. And also in the lecture before, we heard about so many unanswered questions and issues that are still waiting to be solved, like practical issues of how to fry an omelet in outer space. I would like to go back to one of the very first images that Barbara has shown us, where she showed not so much a topography of outer space, but a topography of people working together down here on Earth in order to shape, think, discuss, and develop together what architecture for out there could be. And this is exactly my question to you now. What do we expect from architecture in outer space, for outer space, and what does it need that this architecture can become a reality? And how do we shape a future with that? Yeah, whoever wants to start.
Okay, everybody's looking at me somehow in the panel. So, what does it take? Well, I would suggest, for example, sending an architect or designer to space. Make an architect or designer an astronaut and have that person live and stay in space and see from his or her own perspective what it is really like to be there. Because I think it needs also a kind of trained eye to discover things and to probably also then be able to, in a kind of report, somehow in these kind of lessons learned or so, to give an, I don't know, analytical feedback also. What are the real issues? I mean, yes, we can through talking to the users, to astronauts, we can anticipate a lot of things, but still it's very distant, and we can build prototypes, we can fly them in parabolic flights and everything, but it still will be different than if an architect or designer goes into space.
Yes, okay. I think this is a good idea, but there's no mission control on Earth, and therefore I made this huge poster, Space Needs You. Means architects should gather and should have already here a lot of projects to solve, so that when this guy or this woman is up in space, there should be a huge forum of architects which is already related to this person and can work on all this experience this person makes, the astronaut architect makes. So this would be maybe a problem there, because we should feed with this knowledge a lot of architects, and that not only Brent is with his team. I don't know how it's called, mission control, or so that there's already something like a lot of architectural companies and interested people already here to work on that and in being in communication with this person.
You are the guest. Please start.
Do I have to do anything? Oh, it is? Does that work? Okay. So I'd like to ask for those out here, how many are architects or designers or students of those fields? About half. Okay. Okay. Oh, some are just not admitting it. Okay. So just two quick comments. One is that I'd like to elaborate on the point I made earlier about the distinction between architecture and system engineering. If you find yourselves talking to aerospace professionals, this thing they call system engineering is the discipline in that profession of bringing it all together and making sure that it all works. The thing that's different that architects do is that systems engineers are okay with the result being the outcome of the trade studies or the comparisons that they do that are all based on technical and cost considerations. But architects operate in what I call design directive manner, and that is the architect envisions what the end should be and then works with the realities along the way to get as close to that vision as possible. Right? That's what we do as designers. That is not what happens typically in most engineers' thinking. So it's a distinct skill, and therefore it's one which is valuable, particularly when we're talking about the human environment. The second point I'd make, so that's cheerleading to make sure that you believe that your contribution is unique and valuable. As to how to do it, to get maybe closer to what Barbara suggested, which is a suggestion I love, by the way, to fly designers and astronauts.
You would volunteer. But
I would volunteer, of course. But here's something you need to be aware of. All the things you learn as architects on Earth, all the disciplines, landscape design, building structures, HVAC systems, materials, human programming, all those things that you have to study are probably half of the total number of subjects you need to understand and master to be a space architect. So you need all that stuff, but in addition, you need to understand propulsion, aerospace structures, and space environment, and attitude control, and launch, and communication systems, and life support technology, and all the things that are necessary on top of the traditional architecture disciplines. So that's hard. It takes time. And the way to become engaged is to meet people who are specialists in those fields, just as you would as terrestrial designers work with landscape designers and interior designers and so forth. Get to know what their issues are, understand those problems, and then you can become more effective and more engaged in the world of aerospace.